Welcome to the Change Agent, sponsored by Beyond the Glare and Kalina Vision Professional Services, where we dive into the real-world challenges and strategies of leadership, team management, leading remote teams, project management, being an empathetic leader, technology, and more. So whether you're leading a new team or you're trying to energize an existing one, we've got the insights, tips, and stories to help you succeed as a leader and to inject value fast into your organization. So let's get to it. Welcome back and welcome to episode 11. My name is Eric and today we are beginning our journey into the world of project management. Now don't worry about it. This is not a typical run-of-the-mill project management podcast. None of them are actually. But don't worry, everything's covered. As in all my podcasts, we are discussing what comes from my experience as a passionate, empathetic, and dedicated people manager of large programs and projects throughout my near 30-year career. And today we need to begin our journey with the foundational intro into the perspectives of philosophy of management, the title for today's podcast. Now notice I didn't say the philosophy of leadership. Leadership and management are different. Good leadership can exist with or without the practice of management, like on a sports club or at home, but good management is based on leadership. Leadership is and must be the prerequisite to good management. So why talk about management then, you might ask? Well, it is very dependent on leadership, and in many ways, while it's complex, it's easier to master than leadership, since leadership is really a way of being, and management is more a doing thing. This is a thing you do. So let's talk about the concept of chaos in project management, because that's where I want to start with this. I think many program managers, project managers, and the other project leads will tell you that it's chaotic. That might be one word that they would use. But let's face it, projects are unpredictable. Deadlines shift, requirements change, funding for projects change, stakeholders and teammates disagree, unexpected roadblocks appear. You name it, it's probably happened. Now, as project managers, we operate in a world of uncertainty where stress can easily take over. That's a problem, right? One goal of project managers is to manage change so that there is less unexpected change and good management of planned change. But change can be chaotic in any situation, whether it's unexpected or expected. And this is where we can do a hat tip to some stoicism to help us manage through those obstacles through philosophical means. Sounds heavy. The Stoics, let's think about those like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, believe that while we can't control external events, we can always control how we respond to those events. And in project management, this translates into focusing on what we can manage, which is our mindset. That's to start with. There are many other things that we can do. There are many other principles that we can rely on to employ good management techniques, but let's look at a few of them. So let's break down, I said a few, so let's say 3 philosophical principles that can elevate how we can, as managers, manage those projects and lead those teams. First, control what you can and accept what you cannot. This is not related to risk management, so I'm not saying accept risk, but I'm saying overall, change what you can, accept what you can't, and deal with those. Some things are up to us, some things are not. As project managers, we don't control everything. The economy, executive decisions, political environments, or even a team member outside of our organization or someone inside calling in sick is on a crucial day can be issues. And these are what we would call our enterprise environmental factors, or EEFs. But what we do control is how we adapt to those and how we respond to those situations. So instead of wasting energy on frustration, so we can ask very pointed questions like, what is within my power right now to do? What can I do about it right this second? What resources do I have available? Is the deadline that I'm working against unrealistic? And what can I do to realistically negotiate that timeline? Can I move the schedule? Can I change schedules? Do I have schedule float? What do I have? If a key dependency is delayed, how can I rearrange tasks to maintain progress? This is your critical path stuff. The mindset shift keeps us calm, decisive, and focused. So when you receive some kind of critical change, whether it's expected or not expected, the key component here is how you respond. The next one is embracing discomfort or challenges as training. Seneca said, difficulty strengthens the mind as labor does the body. Well, every project will have its share of setbacks for sure. Budget cuts, scope creep, stakeholders that get frustrated, you name it. But effective management can't be achieved alongside the fear of obstacles. But we can train for those, and we can use this as training for future obstacles. So instead of seeing challenges as problems, let's see them as opportunities to sharpen our skills. Let's think about it. Every crisis that you've ever had, you've navigated, it's made you a better project manager, especially if you've come out of that successfully. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So the next time that a major issue arises, ask yourself, what lesson is this teaching me? What can I learn about this? And how can this lessons learned help others in the same position in the future? That's why we want to document our lessons learned on how we address specific obstacles and challenges in our projects. Approaching difficulties this way helps us build resilience, and frustration keeps frustration from clouding our judgment, making sure that we're making sound decisions under sound facts. This leads me to my third and final point. Lead with logic, not emotion. Emotion-driven decisions will almost always lead to things like overpromising, micromanaging, the reacting impulsively under pressure, saying things that you shouldn't say. And I'm guilty of that for sure, of doing all of those. We need to practice rational detachment. Step back a little bit. Analyze the situation logically. Make calm, calculated decisions. And this doesn't have to be you doing it by yourself. This is a team effort. Remember, get your trusted advisors around you, around a table with you, and discuss what these situations are. What's real? What can you react to? How will you respond? What can you control? What can't you control? What can you influence? What can you not influence? If a stakeholder, as an example, if a stakeholder is demanding some unrealistic result, just take a pause. So instead of reacting defensively and trying to push back on something against your stakeholder, which creates conflict, gather facts, ask what the requirements are, lay out some constraints, present the solutions, guide the conversation with reason, not frustration. And if you find out that your conversations are heading in a more conflictual pathway, then you might want to stop that conversation and rebound it on another day. I've had a couple of podcasts talking about conflict resolution from a high-level point of view. Go back and revisit some of those podcasts on conflict resolution. But we're obviously talking about that a little bit here as well. In the future, we'll do more detailed podcasts on those. The ability to stay calm when others panic, that's what true leadership really is. Project management is as much about mindset as it is about methodology. In fact, current instructors in PMI's Project Management Institute for the PMP certification highlight the heavy importance of the PM mindset over methodology. And it's very common for many people to forget that methods that are presented by PMI or whatever, they're guidelines, right? Those are the bodies of knowledge, the PMBOK Guide of Knowledge, the PM Book of Knowledge, it really guides us to make informed decisions for ourselves. They're not the rules. You don't have to specifically follow those rules on page 29 or 180 or whatever they may be. They're guidelines to help you become better project managers. Adopting similar principles to the ones that are highlighted in this podcast can help us stay grounded, resilient, and effective in high-pressure environments. So look, here's the primary key takeaway for today. Control what you can, see challenges as training, and lead with logic, not emotion. So that's a wrap for today. If you found today's episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and make sure to leave a review. If you'd like more information on how to engage with me directly, you can head over to kalina-vision.com. That's K-A-L-Y, N as in Nancy, A-vision.com, and catch us on YouTube at Beyond the Glare to learn more and see how we can help you and your team remove obstacles and address challenges, enabling your team and organization to be successful. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.